Hey everyone, welcome back to the lab. In this video, we're going to be talking about simple, scalable, and systemic solutions, how to build software with good ROI. So the most common issue in software is usually not how to build things, but building things that are not useful. The same can be said of most companies. It is usually not how to do the thing, but whether that thing is worth doing. This phenomenon is often called the build trap, and is why I'm writing this post today, to emphasize solutions over systems. Focus on impact. My best advice for any software engineer is to focus on impact. This is the best 3S solution I've found to avoid the build trap, and thus is generally a good thing to optimize for. The end goal of a system is always impact. We are building it to do something, solve a problem, and/or capture an opportunity. Software is simply a means of doing so, a tool in our tool belt. The end goal, therefore, is never to build a system or to build software. That's an output, but to achieve some outcome and to do so with the highest possible ROI, our impact for cost. Simple scalable systems as solutions. So I've talked about simple scalable systems a lot here in the lab. I do this because I think it's a great rule of thumb for measuring a system's quality. And generally, these systems that are simple scalable systems outperform other types of solutions and systems over time and iterations, especially across differing scenarios. Now, my views on this have not changed. Generally, simple scalable systems outperform other systems over time and scenarios. But I recognize that a system is only as good as it is useful. Over time, I've witnessed many frameworks used incorrectly and thus fail to live up to their own potential. An example of this is the term minimum viable product, MVP. It is so ambiguous that a majority of people do them incorrectly. They try to build products, and the whole point of MVPs is to not build a full product before you test, and thus they actually end up doing the wrong thing by trying to do the right thing more often than not. Minimum viable experiments is a better version of this because it focuses on what you're actually trying to do. Experiment with a thing before you waste your effort on building a full-fledged incorrect solution. Now, I believe simple scalable systems is great for the implementation portion, but implementation is never enough. We need to take it into account the context we're working within and the impact we plan and actually achieve. So I'm walking back 3S a bit and trying to put it in context. It's best used as part of a solution. 3S solutions, because a system by itself doesn't actually solve anything and therefore is not actually that useful. It needs to be a 3S solution. It needs to actually solve something. My hope is that this new context makes the goal more clear and reduces resulting misuse and inefficiency. And I did consider just dropping it to 3S altogether, like simple scalable solutions, but one, it felt like consulty and it not as like catchy, so I didn't really like that. But the other thing is that I do think simple scalable systems are important because what we're trying to do is basically crystallize a general reproducible thing that works well at scale. And if we just focus on simple scalable solutions, we will solve for the one case, which is usually the correct thing short term, but long term, we eventually need to get to a layer of 3S, simple scalable systems that also are solutions in order to basically progress as a system, because those will end up being the foundations of whatever you build over it. And so that's how you actually get to massive scale. That's how you actually move fast with stable infrastructure, is by crystallizing this knowledge into 3S that you can use everywhere. But, as I said, you can have a really cool, awesome system that's absolutely useless and doesn't actually do anything. So it needs to be a 3S solution. If it doesn't have either side of those, it's going to have problems. Next. So 3S solutions are the best way I've found for finding and building impactful software systems at scale. I think a lot of people, especially engineers, are good at the simple scalable system part, maybe not so good at making sure that they're actually solutions. And this is how we get huge, crazy software complex things that don't do anything. And so I'm going to keep creating these and sharing them, until I find a better method. Now, my question for you is how do you rate the quality of software? What is your method for doing this? What are your rules and systems for consistently building useful, impactful software? If you like this post, you might also like Simple Scalable Systems, how to find 80/20 silver bullet solutions for any domain. You might also be interested in Escape the Build Trap the simple way. And finally, 3 tips to be an effective software engineer with less work and more fun. And this is usually the advice that I give to other engineers, especially those that I'm mentoring, because this is usually the things that people are struggling with, especially earlier in their career, but honestly, people later in their career also do this as well. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.